Evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Grumpy Old Spurs. Plenty to talk about from the past week and a little bit to talk about going forward to the weekend. We've got a trinity of people on here tonight, and hopefully we won't be as bad as the holy trinity of shit from Tottenham, which was Thomas Frank, Vinay Venkatesham and Johan Lang. First of all, introduction. With me, as always, is Dave with his new IT update. How are you, Dave?
I'm really well, Gibbo. And look, I just want to take some time in, and a lot of people don't know the real Gibbo behind the scenes, but he gave me a lot of IT tech advice in the last week. He said my Dropbox was full. I had 2 antivirus things going on at the same time, which meant there was a lot of activity. And he said if I start glitching again tonight, I just need to lay a big fat cable and I'll be sorted out. So thanks for that, Gibbo.
No problem, mate. No problem. You know, IT is my speciality. And tonight we also have Leon in the house with us. Very tired, apparently, Leon, but you've dragged yourself here because there's so much to talk about and you just need to get it off your chest, right?
I'm tired because I went out of you last night and I left yours at 6 a.m. I had about 30 minutes sleep, so that's why I'm exhausted. But no, pleased to be here. Pleased Dave sorted out his IT issues. I think less midget porn for Dave and more work will stop some of these viruses happening. Because some of those sites, when you see that bad stuff,
clog it up.
Mate, it's naughty. It's naughty. I don't even us last night, we weren't getting involved in that stuff, and it was sick.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about my dark web experiences on here, but thank you.
Yeah, that's in a whole new different show. Link in bio. But look, Leon, last week, me and Dave, just by luck, it was the day that Frank was sacked and we managed to do a show and we were getting like 23, 24 people watching us live and getting involved. It was big numbers. But how did you feel when you heard the news last week? I'm sure, like me, you switched TalkSport straight on so you could hear Dave without even saying. You just knew Dave was going to be the first caller on TalkSport, didn't you? Giving his opinions to Simon Jordan and Jim White or whatever. But when you first heard the news, because I think me and you were talking in the morning, weren't you? And I said, they're not getting rid, mate. I think they'll keep him. And you were like, no way. Then obviously, wallop, we got it with it. What did you think?
2 months too late, 6 weeks too late. But it was one of those where I thought he should have gone in January. I mean, the West Ham game at home, when we lost in the last minute, how we didn't go after that. And every time we played a side that wasn't doing well, hadn't won for ages, they turned us over. So no, I was relieved because I genuinely thought we were gonna get relegated because I know people saying, oh, you know, we're too big to go down, but the trend of our results was that bad that I think we would have done. So yeah, we'll get on to the 2 clowns running the show a bit later on, and I'm not talking about us. I'm talking about the idiots employed by Enoch. But no, I was relieved he's gone. Listen. I think he comes across as a decent, nice guy, and he's not helped by our owners. But he was well out of his depth, in my opinion.
I mean, that Newcastle game was appalling, wasn't it? And so, like, for me, the most scary thing of it all, and like you said, we'll come on to it, was the fact that the talk is that like the Lewis family had to get involved and tell Vinay that he was going to have to sack him. I think that's the bit that scares me, because now as we're going to talk about, we've got the replacement in, but longer term, and even that, when you look at how that's come about, but longer term, you're thinking, oh my God, how can anybody have faith in where this is going with these 2 people sort of running the footballing side of things? It's a joke, isn't it?
Well, I mean, we are going to get. We've got a special guest, the Professor of Change Management at Middlesex Polytechnic, later on to talk about change management and executing at the club. So we'll get onto that in a bit. But to the 2 of you who are both undertakers, and we'll get onto him in a little bit as well. looking back and reflecting on the Frank reign, when did you first get that feeling that I'm not too sure about this?
Forest
away.
Forest away was bad. That before that, I was sort of like, maybe you can just, we're not playing very well. And then I think Forest was the first time I was like, this is bad. I don't know, sort of like where we go from here. What can we do? We got. I watched that game and we just didn't have anything about us. I just on that day I sort of thought, I don't know where this is going. Leon, I don't know when did you sort of first? Because I think me and you were both like, this could be all right. This guy might be okay. He might get a sort of like middling and level it all out a bit, but.
So I didn't watch the Arsenal away game just because I thought we'd get what we did. I thought we'd lose, and I just didn't want to. It'd drive me mad, so I didn't bother watching that. But the Chelsea at home game,
oh yeah,
I know it's Chelsea, and I know they're beaters, and I know they're a better side than us. But the tactics, I can't remember who it was. Was it Spence or someone towards the end passed back to Vicario, and everyone booed, and I just thought, what are you doing? What's going on? I didn't want him out at that point, but I was like, this guy, this doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel like it's a fit. The Forest game was awful. It was absolutely awful. And then when we hit January, I thought he should have gone. Then we had that run of games. I can't remember. Was it Wolves, Bournemouth? It all kind of blends into one kind of shit, doesn't it? Basically, it's just we were just getting done by everyone, and I kept thinking he's going to go, and he just didn't.
Well, I mean, was Chelsea before Forest?
Yeah,
it's quite early on.
Yeah.
It was quite early on.
Chelsea for me. I mean, that Bournemouth home game. I mean, that was poor, right?
Yeah, that was the third game. Was that the third game of the season, Dave?
Yeah, and that was after Burnley and City. And Burnley and City, look. Paris Saint-Germain, Burnley City, I think we were all going, yeah, this is all right. And we all wanted Frank.
Yeah.
Right? But I felt the Chelsea game, which, what was, I mean, I know we're big on XG on this show, but 0.3 whatever XG. And was that not the game with the Van der Ven and Spence ill discipline? I think it was.
And that was that was the 1st of November.
The 1st of November, Guy Fawkes week, because I know Guy Fawkes week is your favourite time of year, Gibbo, isn't it? You love a good
I love bonfire night.
Yeah, you do. And then, so I felt I was like, so that Chelsea team were not playing that well at the time, coming into it, Reed. And so basically, I'm just being a bit personal. So that's when the doubt. Spence and Van der Ven should have been disciplined properly. If you're going to do Basuma for turning up late and doing the party balloons, then you've got to think about that. So I think we're all agreed. We all had our doubts from around the same time, and then off he went. But should we look to the future now with our new manager?
That's what I was about to say. So Igor Tudor comes in under whatever circumstances. Lovely fruit bowl, Dave.
Yeah, thank you.
I know that that was something that impressed you immensely before
this week.
Before he came in and did his speech. You were like, "Wow, this guy knows his not onions, knows his apples."
Is there not another green-based vegetable? They're all just apples.
They're all just apples, mate. Apples is apples.
You sure about that? What about these two here? Well, we can't see the maps.
but like Dave, apart from how this, obviously it came out of left field a little bit, but apart from how it came out, what was your thought when it was initially announced, and what are your thoughts after sort of a couple of days, and then we had the interview with him, like of his first like official sort of interview. So where are you at the minute on Igor Tudor?
Well, obviously the time zone difference. I've woken up to two big pieces of news this week. One is the, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor being arrested on his birthday, and then obviously Igor Tudor being appointed as our interim coach. the thing about Igor Tudor, and I hope he's not going to be another Stellini, because the fact of the matter is, we have got absolutely no wriggle room whatsoever. Okay, and you've got Sheringham and Ferdinand and Sherwood all coming out this week, proper football men as they are. PFM, he's got no Premier League experience. He's got no Premier League experience. Well, I mean, if you look at all the managers that have come into the Premier League over the last few years, a lot of them don't have Premier League experience. So what has been interesting, look at King Hoddle loves it. That's comment of the week so far. Look at that. Look, the thing is about Tudor, apparently, is he plays an intense game. He trains them hard. It's a fast running game, and he doesn't take any shit. Is the impression I get. To be honest with you, and I apologise to our loyal viewers and to you two, my fellow panelists. I watched the Langer transfer window interview. I did that. I took that one. I haven't watched. Is it Ben Bowman who interviewed Tudor?
No, Ben Haynes, I think his name
Ben
is.
Ben Haynes. Ben, whatever his name is. So I didn't do that. Did you watch the interview?
Yeah, I did watch it. I watched it. Did you watch it, Leon? Or was it just another thing you just couldn't face watching?
I can't watch any of that stuff they put out there. About 10 seconds, I heard his voice and I heard a couple of comments. It felt more positive than Frank, who seemed to talk us down a lot and talk a lot about how good the opposition are or were. So it seemed slightly different from that perspective. If he pisses people off, we don't really have many players, so hopefully he doesn't piss too many off. But I've written off the North London derby. I've written off the Chelsea away game, Liverpool game.
Oh God!
It's those other he spoke well, was what the bits I saw. But it's those other games, the Forest one, the Wolves one, where we've got to pick some points up.
Brighton.
It's those ones. And actually, just going back to when we were talking about when we lost faith in Frank, I was looking at the results. Do you know what it was? Because we were talking about it was a Fulham at home game. Do you remember? We were messaging each other. Vicario gave the ball away. It was then I started to think he wasn't up to scratch. But Tudor, the only thing I can hope is the players were so pissed off with Frank and so fed up with him that just kind of anyone coming in that takes a bit of tension out of it and lifts them up and lets them play a bit is enough to get us results against teams that we should, so to speak, be beating. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I mean,
the thing that concerns me a bit is that apparently he's like another Conte, and so he's going to work them hard. And there's a lot of intensity in training, and he's going to really work them hard, and a lot of running in training. But we've got loads of injured players, and then we've got players who I think are in the red zone, either coming back or could be injured. So that just worries me. But I'm sensing that Gibbo doesn't like the red zone. Over to you, Gibbo.
I just think if you get a new sort of intensity around the ground, I think you'll find a few players come back from injuries maybe a week or two before. The working hard bit, loads of coaches work players hard. That's what they should be doing. They're trying to getting that intensity, getting that fitness. More importantly, mate, I'm not saying he has to come down on players and upset them, but I do think that we have got, and I've said this before, we've got a group of individuals on that playing staff, mate, who think they are miles better than they are. And they need to be made to understand and realise the situation they are in. They need to be told that it's not good enough. They, that their attitudes to what they've got to improve on, performances have got to improve, and attitudes have got to improve. And that is what they need, mate. Tudor's here for 12, 13 games. And that's what he's got. It's like a little mini league where all his job is to keep Spurs up. But more than anything,
the Champions League.
I think start getting some of these players in line. Because like we've said about Frankie, but they're talking about like Romero coming in late and other players they were told about their like timekeeping, and then the next day they'd be in. And I'm just thinking, who the fuck do these players think they are? They like, I know they won the Europa League last year, whatever, but
Mhm.
like 17th last year. Where are we at the
Mhm.
minute? 16th. These aren't coincidences now. We do have a few injuries, but this
Have
is
you
where
ever
you are.
tried getting? Sorry, have you ever tried getting to Enfield at 9:30 or 10 o'clock on a weekday morning? You got the school run. You've got people getting to work. You know, they've got that lovely canteen there to greet them, and they're still arguing about who's taken over Eric Dyer's allotment. You know, it's a tough life for these players. Come on.
But I just think, Dave, pull your finger out a little bit more and set off 5 or 10 minutes earlier. Set the alarm a bit earlier. But jokes aside, mate, I think that is something that has sort of gone under the radar a bit, and I think, and I hope that. I'm still not convinced. I'm not convinced by Tudor himself. I'm just by our situation and where we are, and just how it's been going for us. But he's got a few things to do, which could be pretty straightforward. And it's just going to be suck it and see, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get on to change management in a minute, won't we? But I mean, there's no wriggle room. I've said it. I know I've said it already. There's no wriggle room here. If he doesn't, I like we're going to talk about North London derby. He's got Fulham away after that. So if we get a point against the Gooners, I'll be very, very happy. Okay, I don't think we will. Fulham away, he'd want at least a point out of that, right? But if he's got 0 points out of 2 games, you can just imagine your Alex Crooks, your Matt Laws, all these shit stirrers who hate us. They're going to be piling it on, and it's not going to be pretty, right? So he's got to. I think on Saturday or Sunday, whenever the game is, we've got to be. If he shows that we're playing more front foot football, and he maybe makes a surprising selection, like he plays a kid or something, then I think the crowd will get behind that. I think the crowd will get behind it anyway.
Yeah, Leon, the crowd. I think the crowd will get. I mean, that's. You'd like to think now, but we know what it is. It's 12 games. The fans and the players go into every game now for the rest of the season, and they sort of know what's at stake. Whether you like the appointment or not, it's a case now of, look, we know what it is. It's short term. It's got to be all eyes on the prize, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, as Dave said, there's no room for mistakes here at all. I mean, I don't go to the games, so I can't comment about what's going to go on in the stadium. My view for Sunday is we'll get beat. I hope it's not humiliating, but as you say, as long as we looks like we're having a go and the performance has improved, then we can take that into the Fulham game. And I want to see us. I mean, maybe I am deluded. Well, I am deluded, but I want to see us beat Fulham. But you're right. If we don't pick up any points against Arsenal and we get done by Fulham, which could well happen, then we're in trouble. I hope the fans don't start booing. It's easy for me to say 'cause I'm not paying them money, but don't start booing, because we can't have that negativity, because we will go down. And if we go down, I don't think we're coming back up. Not with these owners; they're clowns. So
yeah. We'll get on to that sort of point next, I think, Leon. But guys, I don't know what you think. Arsenal, Fulham, Palace. It's got to be 4 points out of those 3 games, doesn't it?
Minimum.
Yeah. I mean, look, everyone's going to be up. Look, like the season that we were going to win, we were going for the league against Leicester, and everyone was up for it against us because they didn't want to see us win it, like Chelsea. Everyone's going to be up for it to send us down. There's no doubt about it, right? Absolutely, everyone's up for it. There's not going to be an easy game, okay? And I just think, but the good news is, I think, in relation to the atmosphere, I believe there's going to be a tifo against the Goons, which is great news, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
I might try and get a ticket if that's possible. I don't know, because if there's a tifo, that changes the game, doesn't it? Like that's great news.
What's been your favourite tifo over the years, Leon?
There's been a few. Do you know what? There's been a few. I'm actually smiling because it does bring like a little bit of sunshine to my heart, and I can feel some tears coming. I'm not going to cry on camera because there's a lot of people watching. But
stay strong.
Yeah, I think my favourite was was the end of last season. Someone's celebrating at the end of last season, and there was that big one of Daniel Levy, just his face and his bald head, and I think we didn't know at the time that our great leader was going to be leaving in awful circumstances, and I think just to see that and like understand that the club and the fans, because the fans paid for that, we all had a whip round offline, online, in person, everything. A lot went into it, and to see his face there was it was emotional, mate. I've got it as a screensaver on my phone. I've got it on my laptop. I think about it most days.
And you'll always have that, Leon. No matter now he's gone, you'll always have that memory of the Levy tifo, won't you?
Yeah. I mean, we're going off on a tangent here. It feels more like a therapy session. I feel like I'm going to have to open up about a few things, but we always have that, even if we go down. I'll happily go down knowing that we've got the Levy tifo thing. Yeah.
So on to Levy we've mentioned. So let's go on to like that. I know Dave. When we come on to this part of the show, Dave was going to talk about what was it, Dave? You'd been speaking to somebody about management and
So
I'll pass over to you for the next few minutes, mate. So you can.
Thank you, Gibbo. As you know, there's 125 Tottenham YouTubes and podcasts, and there's also Spurs, which is the thinking man's chin stroking Tottenham podcast. So they kind of get coaches on after the defeat and ask the question, what is the coach's view of the defeat? Which is quite simple. We're playing shit and we've scored less goals than the opposition, but what do I know, eh? But I don't think they've covered off change management. So I spoke to a professor of change management at Middlesex Polytechnic, which is an august educational establishment in North London, and he took me through the change management process that the board have executed, and I think it's something to marvel at. So if I just bear with me as we go through this. So as we know, number one, Frank was appointed by the triumvirate, I think you said, of Levy, Vinay and Langer. Then, and I'm sorry to trigger you again, Leon, Levy leaves. Sorry about that, Leon. Okay. And then Paratici comes back. You remember the Couchside interview with David Frost and Langer? He's a joint director of football. He will get the established players while Langer will get the potential. But then Paratici doesn't rate Frank, and he says we should go and appoint Tudor as an interim, right? And this, I think, was about November, December time. Matt Wells leaves. Of course, he goes off to the MLS. Then Johnny Heitinger, remembered Johnny, he was appointed as the coach to replace him. Then Paratici leaves because he's got a new woman in Italy. And it's not as if Conte travelled backwards and forwards from Italy, as his family was based there whilst he was coaching us. He had to leave because love is what rules, ladies and gentlemen. Then Frank is sacked. And then Tudor is appointed. So that's Paratici's recommendation that Tudor should come in. And then Heitinger leaves after 33 days at the club. Leon, what's your fondest memories of Johnny Heitinger's reign at Tottenham?
There's so much to talk about, isn't there? I think just seeing his smiling face on the touchline, because he looked like he was enjoying it, didn't he? Like it was his dream. He said it was his dream to come into a club that's as well run as we are. And just seeing him there, he just looked so proud, didn't he? Like it's a shame it only lasted 33 days, but it was good while it lasted, wasn't it? When you bring up that last slide, when you look at that slide, that's like I mean, look at that. We're not even in March, are we? I mean, that's mind blowing. That's supposed to forget football. That's supposed to be a professional business with millions, hundreds of millions of pounds going through it. And look at that. That's fucking mental, isn't it? Sorry to use those words. That's like they don't. We knew they never had a clue, ENIC. But I thought, oh, maybe they just don't give a fuck about football, which they don't. But they're just in it to rinse the money as much as possible, which I don't rate. But look at that.
But it's like, mate, ENIC, like you said, the ENIC thing is ENIC, isn't it? And they've put faith, let's say, in your Vinay and Langs, in the whole Heitinger appointment, you just look at that and you're like, they Lang and Vinay firmly believed, didn't they? That there was never any doubt in their mind that we're keeping this guy all season.
Yeah.
It'll come good, no matter though we're just slowly going down the league. He's saying performances are improving and we're getting better. We're gonna stick by him. We've got him this guy now. We've got a new physio in from Brentford. I think they got the physio in after Heitinger, didn't they? So I don't know if he's still there. So they've got him in because Frank was part of the process. At the end of the Newcastle games, Frank is asked if he thinks he'll be there for the Arsenal game, and he says, yes, I've been speaking to him yesterday, and I will 100% be here, or whatever he said. And then we sack them all.
Do you know, I'll just say something being serious before Dave jumps in. That, firstly, Lange, whatever his name is, hiring him from Villa when he was demoted, we've discussed this previously.
Yeah.
It's in itself is mind blowing. But then to bring in Heitinger, who is a really well respected coach, apparently really well thought of, and we bring him in to support Frank. Okay, and I thought he was coming in to be caretaker manager. I thought that's what was really going to happen. They were going to bin Frank off, put this dude in, no problem at all. But it just shows how detached they are from reality, that they genuinely thought that Thomas Frank was going to stay in his position, despite when you look at our results over 38 games, which takes into consideration the other manager, but you look at the trend of our results with Frank, we were going down. We were going down, and they were happy to allow that trend to continue. That
still might go down.
We still might. We still could, but in my opinion, we were going down under Frank. Because the results show that. The results show that. Anyway, I get really passionate about this when I'm being serious, so I'll shut up and let you talk. Sorry, Dave.
So Dave, where do you think now? I'm talking. So we've got Enoch. Obviously, Enoch are there until they sell. So now we've got Tudor in, who was obviously Paratici's recommendation, and they've gone back to him. So they could. I mean, Langer couldn't even. We tried for Semenyo, didn't we, in January?
We did try.
We tried, and we were turned down. So there was nowhere else to go after that. So now they were told that they had to sack the manager, which they did, and then so they have to find someone else to come in, and then they go back to the guy who they've sort of like tried to oust, pushed to one side, and they got him in. Where does this leave in your mind, Vinay and Langer?
Well, as you know, Langer said in the video that we've got big ambitions for the summer, Gibbo. All right, we are ambitious for the summer. Now we've heard about the Gibbo family US summer family plans. So Leon, just very quickly, what's your big ambitions for this summer for yourself? What's the big ambition?
I want to get that tifo of Levy tattooed on my chest. That's my ambition.
Will you do a live stream on Grumpy when you do it? Because I think that's what's going to get some numbers.
I mean, I've been told it will take about 8 hours. I don't mind. I'm happy to.
Hey, we did a Transfer Day special for about 8 hours a few years ago, so why not? Right? Okay, well that's live and exclusive. We're going to see the Levy tifo tattooed onto Leon's chest this summer. Where does it leave us? You know where this leaves us. We need to get rid of these owners. That's what I mean. What's going to happen in the summer? I suspect what will happen in the summer is Nick Buchler, who is of course the co-CEO of the Tavistock Group, along with Josh Levy, Daniel's son. We will. I think that the Langer will have to go. He will go. It'll be Damien Kamolid. He'll be out the door, and then it'll be Franco Baldini. And then the question is Vinay. If we get rid of Vinay has spent half his 6-7 months hiring all these people that did Levy's jobs, head of marketing, comms, head of this, head of that, whatever. We've got the geezer coming in from the City Group. We hire a lot of people from the City Group, right? We hire a lot of people in from the City Group, and basically he's coming in, this COO bloke. So he'll come in, and the question is whether Vinay gets a chop. Because Vinay and Langer should be just sacked, and they've got no grounds for constructive dismissal for saying that Frank should stay on because we were heading only one way, right? So they've got to go. So who? I mean, someone's been saying we'll get Paul Barber back in because he left Tottenham. He went to Brighton. He's done a great job there. Get him back in. Whether you're going to get Paul Mitchell back in as the director of football, and whether obviously all roads lead to Poch.
Well, I don't know about you, Leon, but look,
we talked about Poch last week.
Yeah, so we're not going to get too deep, but
But can we ask Leon if he wants Poch back or not?
Yeah, that's what I was just coming on to. I was going to say to him, if Poch comes back, I've got a feeling that he will be given quite a lot of scope to, because obviously it's a PR win for the club, for the people who run the club, with a lot of the fan base. I won't say all of them, with a lot of the fan base. So I think if he does come back in, he'll be given a bit of not a free rein, but he'll be given a lot of scope to say, look, this is what I want. I want to do this. This is how I want it to be. How do you feel about the possibility of Poch coming back? And do you think that's what will happen? Do you agree with it, Leon?
I think it will happen because I think there'll be so much heat on the owners that they'll do that in reaction to the shit that they're going to be getting. We are a basket case, yeah, to take the heat off them. Do I think it's the right move? Rowan, is that me? Or yeah, I don't know who Rowan Atkinson is. Do I think it's the right move? No, I don't. I don't think it is. I don't think it's a good move for us at all. I don't know who would be a good manager, but I don't think Pochettino's it. As for giving him free rein, I mean, his signings at Southampton were weird. I never forget him signing Danny Osvaldo, whatever he is. He was just a fucking lunatic. And then when it was a lot of money, and then some of the signings he wanted at Tottenham, apparently he wanted, not Levy, and I'd love to blame Levy, were very questionable. Like,
I'm sure he signed off on Davinson Sanchez 42 million. Let's be honest.
Yeah. And by all accounts, he didn't want Tielemans. I don't know if that's true, but I don't think it's a good move. I think it will happen. His signings are bad. And as for anyone coming in, Mitchell, Barber, Rowan Atkinson, I don't know. It doesn't matter because ultimately you got those C words at the top that won't let people work properly. They won't provide
clairvoyance. Do you mean they're clairvoyants?
They've been referred to as that a couple of times. They don't let people work properly. They don't provide the wages for the top players. Christ almighty, every summer, every window we hear we're almost in for a player. It's been going on for 25 years. It's barely believable.
Big summer.
The first year. Big summer ahead. I mean,
big summer. Ambitious.
Mind blown. So we got to get rid of the owners, as Dave says.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, the owners ain't going to go till they sell, have they? You are right. The big issue has got to be the people who the owners are, by all accounts, leaving the day-to-day running of the footballing side to. That has got to be put right first of all. But like Phil said, you know, I've always been, look, Poch, I don't coming back, but I do think at the minute he is. When I go through the managers, not a lot of people like De Zerbi. I like De Zerbi, but he's fucking mental, isn't he? He's a basket case, but he's a nutcase. But I like him. I think he's a good coach. That won't work.
He won't work at Tottenham.
No. And then the other name is Iriola. I don't get Frank vibes from him because I think he's a lot more progressive and he plays But then I think to myself as well I'm not sure about him. So in reality, when you step back and I try and look at these things with sort of like, as I'm quite good at being sort of
sensible,
take the emotion out of it and step back and not have rose tinted glasses on. And I do sort of look at it and think he's arguably where we are. And you've got to remember where we are now. The last two, like I said, it's not really a coincidence that of our league finishes 2 years in a row. If we sort of just doss around where we are now, arguably the best level of manager we can get to come and run the team at the minute. If we finish the season where we are, Who do we think that we are going to be able to? I know. There's always someone who thinks I can go and sort it out, but with other clubs looking as well, who do we think we could get that's sort of better than that?
Well, if we get relegated, it would make sense to get Kieran McKenna, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's a sort of like one way to look, isn't it? Obviously it definitely won't be Tudor if they went down, because they wouldn't keep the guy who took us down. But yeah, I mean it's a tough one. Is this, look, like Phil said, if Everton got Poch back, we think it was a coup, and we were just talking about that, like Moyes going back to Everton, and he sort of steadied the ship there, hasn't he? I know they're not pulling up any trees, but they're not sort of like where we are in the league. He's just sort of steadied the ship a bit of a feel-good factor. Maybe leaves up with gets it all settled, and then gives them a platform to go off. Maybe that's what we've got to look. But I look at the list, and I really like De Zerbi, like I said, but it's a disaster waiting to happen. I look through the list, and I think, I don't know where we go. People who think you could go and get Nagelsmann or someone else after the World Cup. I don't think we can.
I'm not sure about Nagelsmann, to be honest with you. Anyone who skateboards to work,
mate, he is. He's.
I'm not having that. I'm sorry.
Top coach, mate. The way he sets his teams up, the way they play. We are just, if we're honest,
we got Odebear
off that.
We got Tell and Odebear and Solanke or Richarlison as a front three. It don't matter who you bring in, really. We might have a few more shots on goal. They don't score and they don't create. So bring Pochettino back, but when we've got really, really, really poor players, there's a reason. There's a reason we've spent the last 2 seasons, I wouldn't say fighting relegation last year, but we finished 17th. We're fighting relegation this year. We have an absolute lack of quality in that side.
Massive lack of quality. Look, this is the thing we were talking about Tudor in the games we've got coming up. I just, like you're saying about goals. I know Kane and Son, irreplaceable. You're never ever going to replace those. We're nowhere near. Not even like a quarter. Not even a quarter of the and the lack of.
But you didn't deserve Son, Gibbo.
No,
you were so ungrateful.
No. But number 10, we bought. We had this thing. We tried to get Eze. We tried to get Morgan Gibbs-White. We ended up buying this number 10. 1 goal in a couple of assists. Like Leon's right. They're miles off at the players, and so I'm looking at it. And we're talking about managers. He's probably the best manager we can get in, no matter what we. King Hodley bottled the big games. Maybe he didn't win a trophy. No, he never. But name me a better manager that we can get. If it comes to it, we stay up. Tudor walks off into the sunset. Name a better manager that would come in at Tottenham. Let's,
Alonso.
The thing is if as Dave's saying, there's some big managers out there, but our owners have told us that they're serious about winning trophies, that they want to compete. So they could do it this summer. They could go out, they could drop big wages on a proper manager, on a big manager, and they could back it up with a big transfer fund and the wages to support the players. They could do, because that's what they told us they want to do. They told us they want to compete. They've told us that. So what's going to happen? We're going to bring Pochettino in and who? And who are we going to bring in? Player-wise, like
it's massive, isn't it, Leon? Because like me and you have said, and I think Dave's on board as well. There is no goals in that. I mean, Odebear, even though you were talking about him, ACL. Forget about him for a period anyway. Forget about him. And Maddison and Kulusevski, brilliant players to bring back in. Excellent players. They will improve the team, but they've not got lots and lots of goals in them, have they?
Well, they're not coming. I'm not sure Kulusevski's coming back at all.
Nah, but compared to the players we've got playing, they have. I mean, they're not great, but I feel a lot more confident in them. But we're not going to see them this season.
No. Nope. But we're talking about but there's so much to do, isn't there? Like I think Gallagher will be a decent player going forward in a functioning team. I
Yeah.
think he will be. I think when he was at Chelsea, when we wanted him before, you thought, oh, we could do with a bit of that. Bags a few goals, gets round the pitch, puts it in, you know. But
like
it's
an English Gus Poyet.
Yeah, but it's the bits around him, isn't it? You know, like Romero's going to go. We need, you know, and I've always stuck up for Romero, but now I look at it and think we might get a standard of player who probably isn't as good a footballer as him, but we might get someone that's better for us and helps us move forward. But yeah, it genuinely is another big summer, isn't it? And I can't be dealing with. It probably is at that point. Like we were told by Frank, it was transitional. Me and Leon kept getting told last season when we were saying this ain't right with the manager.
Last season,
this ain't right about this man. You know, we're not playing well. Then when we were told it was transition, and me and Leon are sat in a group that we were in, going, "Hang on,
who was the manager last season?
Finished. Well, we'll just come on to that. We finished 5th. So surely you don't finish 5th and then go, right, we're going to rebuild now. What we're going to do is we're going to rebuild, which is what we were told we were doing. When you finish 5th, you kick on. Let's move on to the next bit, Dave. I know you've been desperate to get this up because I know you wanted to give us your spiel on and sticking up for us. So
how much longer have we got of you, Leon?
Another 10 minutes.
10, right, here we go. Now, I think Gibbo's. So it's great that we've got the 2 or orange Undertakers here. How apt. So obviously we've seen and in the overlap interviews, he did one when Frank was sacked, and he said Tottenham are not a big club, don't pay enough salary, not pay enough wages. There's a great story about the morning of the Europa Cup final, Leon. You know, your hero, Daniel, sat down and had breakfast with him. And the first thing he said is, I've lost 7 semi-finals and finals. Very Churchillian from Daniel there. He's obviously not been out with you the night before, Leon. That would have got him, all good to go. And so basically, I have always argued that despite its many faults, it was a right decision to get rid of him. And you can be Ange out and you can be Frank out. They're not exclusive that one against the other. Is that he stood up for the club last year. He stood up. He got a lot of disrespect from journalists because he's an Aussie and how dare he come in and manage and coach in the Premier League. I think that you compare and contrast to Frank this season. Frank has got it very lightly from the media. He's got off very lightly. I mean, there was that ridiculous article, I think, by Alison Rudd in the Times about how Tottenham fans are over-entitled and Frank was hard done by. What a load of old nonsense.
Yeah. So
I said last season that it's great the way he stands up for the club against Wenger and this one and that one. And then the minute he's out the door, he goes to Forest. I'm presuming that his exit contract is over now because he got another job. He can say what he likes. Gibbo's like going here, but he tears into Tottenham at the first opportunity. No loyalty. Over to you, Gibbo.
No, I mean, Leon, obviously we got 10 minutes. I don't know if I just lay some foundations, you can go off on it. But it's like, I've got a bigger problem with the interview. It's like, I don't think he was asked anything. Like, we come all these bits, Tottenham are this, to dare is to do, and they don't really do that. Nobody sat on that thing and gone, Ange, you told us you tried to change the culture and you just couldn't do it, and they got rid of you and you knew you were going bloody, bloody, blah. Not your fault, everyone else's fault, players' fault, board's fault, injuries, but fans having a dig at you or whatever. But trying to change the culture, does that include losing 20-odd games and sort of like just letting that go for so many months and your centre-backs, which they've been on one of our shows coming on and saying that they had to go to you to say something needed to change. So you sort of just let them do it and told them to get on with it. So from January last year, you were just sort of like letting it go along and you were losing games. You know, Ange, is any of that on you, or what could you have done? Anything? Did it have to be that bad? Did you have this culture that you're saying you tried to change? It appears to me that you started a culture of losing football matches. and then you go to Sully, and then you go to Forest, and you don't win a game. And apparently, he's been saying in this thing today as well, he should never have gone near Forest. They had 4 fucking away games or something in the first 7, and he should never have gone there. Absolute. I said that he was a bluffer for a long, long time. Me and Leon, I think, from when he won all those games at the start of his tenure, and then after Christmas, when it went a bit iffy, we were like, hang on here, I'm not sure whether he's got this plan working. And then ever since, when we got some stick, didn't we, Leon, for saying the guy's a bluffer. He's a great talker, but like none of it's his fault. And the things he said, I think he took more personally against him. Like people saying he was sticking up for us, sticking up for himself. And now he's come out and he's given. I mean, he says about all this stuff about Tottenham don't pay the wages. They're not a big. Was he living under a rock before he came to Tottenham? Did he not know? And now he's come out and he's telling fans. He's telling us stuff we know, and like we've been saying for ages. And I really like the overlap. The overlap's a program. Me and Trude on a Saturday morning, we get up and we have a coffee and we'll sit there and we'll put it on, and because I like the pundits who are on there.
Who's Trude's favourite on the overlap? Who does she like the most?
Oh, I think she likes Wrighty and she likes Keane. I think she just likes how they sort of straight talk. Well, usually about football and the things they say and how they see it. But I'm shocked that they never put any sort of questioning like that on him. And it was just what's coming to roost now is everything I sort of. Well, me and Leon, we knew for ages, didn't we, Leon? So, how do you find the whole? I just find it all like mind-boggling.
I mean, I can't really stand him, so I don't like listening to him talk. So I didn't watch it, which isn't very helpful for this segment of the show. However,
don't worry about it.
I'll just make a load of stuff up now. Look, I've seen the quotes, I've seen some snippets. Obviously, I think the thing with a lot of managers, not necessarily in football, but just in general, there's a lack of self-awareness and the ability to take ownership of what you're responsible for. So what he's responsible for ultimately as the front guy, as the manager, was losing all of those games and finishing 17th. Just as he could say he was responsible for winning the trophy, albeit there's people behind the scenes, all of that kind of stuff. So, as for changing the culture, he's made it worse, because I think one of the reasons we're struggling this season was because of last season. Because last season we lost games, but not at the volume we were losing games last season. It was just like every single week, weird tactics, weird setup, and we were getting smashed by teams that wouldn't normally beat us, and it just became the norm. We lost. We lost. Fast forward to this season, same thing. So he doesn't take ownership for that, and that's for saying we're a small club. I mean, he's right in some respects, isn't he? I mean, what makes a big club? You know, money they've siphoned off to build flats, go-kart tracks, like revenue. Tifos, I don't know, like, because we're a big club in we've got a big stadium. We're not a big club in that we don't try and be, and we're not ambitious on the pitch. There's no desire to win anything. The football isn't first, is it? So yeah, exactly. You do not build a winning culture by losing 22 games. You change your tactics. You start picking up some draws and you pick up some wins, don't you? You don't go to Everton, who have been shit, and play Archie Gray, Ben Davis, and was it Dragerson in a free on the halfway line or whatever it was? We were 3-0 down.
3-0 down at half time.
Mate, the guy's a clown, utter clown. Yeah, I don't know what I'm saying really. I just don't like. I don't like him. In the Chelsea away game, when Pepe Sarr, he thought Sarr scored it, he's giving it to the fans and it was disallowed, and then he made up that nonsense. Come on, we're in 100%.
And just for a grumpy old Spurs cliche from me, like I always said, and I've said it for a long time, Dave, you can get your bingo card out. winning is a habit.
Yeah.
So is losing. And like Leon said, and we kept saying, and people sort of got at us for it, it became the norm under Ange. That was the culture. And not one person, when he's talked about changing the culture, the only thing they said, he did change the culture, he won us a trophy, blah, 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 blah. Nobody's brought up the losses and getting that losing culture. And when I brought up the League Cup, people said, it's the League Cup, it's shit. What about Ramos won a cup or whatever? That final was against one of the best Chelsea teams you'll ever see. And the semi-final win was a two-legged affair against a decent Arsenal team. So I'm not saying it's the cup itself hasn't got the prestige of the Europa League. I know that, but the teams you play against, I just think Ange got so like people. It's a cult. I called it the COA. It was a cult. People bought into it. They took the Kool-Aid and they bought into the cult of Ange. And now he's come back and he's shitting all over people. And people saying he's right. Why has he got to do that for? If he's such an honourable bloke and he's so like such a real guy.
The excuses I heard and read for him last season, my favourite was the underlying data looks good when we were getting smashed by everyone. Data, I don't give a fuck what data looks like. We're getting beat by absolutely everyone, and that's for winning the Europa Cup. It was amazing. So fair play to him for that, because there's better managers than him that haven't won anything with better teams. So definitely can't take that away from him. But as for everything else, the guy's a clown.
I'm assuming that someone's dog's tail thumping away there.
Do you know what it is?
Go on.
I should have said before the start of the show. You know, I mentioned I stayed at Gibbo's last night and we left at 6 a.m. It was an intense night. So on the way back, I was a bit lubricated. So I swung by Levy's and I picked him up. And you can't see it, but he's getting fucking annoyed because we're talking about him and he can't talk. I've got him tied up to the chair, wrapped in a load of cling film. And I was just like, every time I walk past, I was just tapping his head. And he's like, he's jumping up and down. You know, like he's trying to break free of it. He's jumping up and down on the chair.
And you got the pool ball in his mouth.
Listen, you little fuck. Listen, you're to blame for this, mate. You're to blame. We'll get you on next week. I know you want to have your say, but you've done a load.
You've not tied him to a radiator like Boy George did?
No, because he might break it. He might break it. You know, like it's hard. I've turned it on. I don't want to burn him. I've still got, you know, like. Look, I like you, mate. I like you. No, my dog was scratching in her £250 bed that I bought her, which is lovely.
That's nice. Right. Should we move on quickly to North London Derby? Do you want to do the North London? The last thing we do is North London Derby. Do you want to stay for that, or do you want to go?
Fuck it. We're all in tonight. Let's do it.
You're taking us back to the top, mate. All right, we're on our way back. North
26 people in the house. Leon's in the house.
Leon's in the house. He says he's staying on. Let's get that up to 27.
It's going around Twitter now. That fucking Leon on Grumpy Old Spurs. He's got Levy tied up in the corner.
He's kidnapped Levy.
Get on there now.
You don't get that on the Spurs 5 or Hotspur Hibbity. Right. Anyway, this is a picture of team harmony during the week from the North London derby. They're not on a great run at the moment, sadly, but it's a North London derby. I'm a bit worried.
The doctor's in the house.
Yeah, don't say that. I can't stand that.
Mate, no, look.
Gibbo, we'll all have our thoughts on it.
I like when people were last night giving it the big one. They've drawn. They're going to finish second again. I'm a bit like I'm just sort of like, look, they're second. They've been challenging for the league. I don't think we're in any. I don't feel like I'm in any position. I know they give shit, but I'm sort of like, no. Yeah, fair enough. They've drawn. I think a draw would be an excellent result at home. They're going to be bang up for it. They need to. They've got to get a win. They need to win. They're a better team than us. They're in better shape than us. I can't see us winning. I just hope we can get like a draw will fuck them up because City will smell blood. I'd love to. I just can't see us beating them. I just don't think we've got enough in attacking areas to beat them. Hopefully, we can frustrate them and just get about them, play at high intensity. Just go out there and give fucking 90 minutes, 90 plus minutes, whatever. Just get to just win every ball first. That's what I want to see. Try and win every second ball, win every header, get some shots on goal, put your bodies on the line. And hopefully, we'll get something from it. And like people are saying that they're not picking up results and they won't be able to cope with the intensity of how we're playing. Just about the goals, isn't it? So, yeah, I just can't see us winning.
No, we're not going to. I mean, no, we're not. We're not going to. I think what'll happen is crowd will get behind us. We'll start strong. We'll give it a go. But it's just that lack of quality. So so it'll be Slanky up front, Tell left wing, Gallagher right side.
No. We got. Okay, he likes. He managed Randall and Hopkirk disease at Juventus. They'll be in. Randall and Hopkirk disease will be in. Solanke. He might play two up top. Bullying.
Solanke's going to play, isn't he? We know Solanke will play.
Yeah.
We're not going. We're going to see. We'll have Solanke, Simmons, Gallagher.
Yeah.
Van der Ven will definitely play. Obviously, Dragusin's going to play. Paulina. There's talk of Porro being back. Spence. So it's just how we
could play three at the back. Could play three at the back with wing backs. Could have Paulina at the back.
If Porro's back, he'll play Porro in Spence wing back.
Revive Basuma. Play him as a 6.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know who he's going to play. I don't know how his team's set up. But we've got a small pool to play from, haven't we?
It's our job to give an opinion on it.
So, yeah. So, what do you think, Dave? What do you think he'll do? What are you thinking score will be?
Firstly, great news. Richie's back because he's Brazil's World Cup striker. So we're safe now. Okay? We are safe. He is back. Well, I mean, he's obviously going to play Vicario, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I reckon if Porro's back, he'll play Porro, Vicario, Dragusin, he's got no choice, Mickey van der Ven, maybe Paulina, and then on the left, he could play Spence or Gray as a wing back. Basuma, Gallagher, Xavi Simons at 10, and he plays 2 up top, and he goes balls out. We'll show these gooners what we're about. That's what I reckon to do. And then on the bench will be Terry and June and the cast of Murphy's Mob.
Excellent. And score prediction, Dave?
Well, I said City was 2-2, didn't I? But then I put 20 on us beating West Ham 4-0. So it goes to show you that I know the square root of fuck all. I think it will be 2-2. Okay, another 2-2.
Leon, score.
Come on, Leon.
3-1
to Tottenham. Come on, that's the way.
To them.
Are you going to put money on the Gooners 3-1, Leon? That's the question.
No, I'm not going to. I've written it off. I'm not even going to watch it. To be honest with you, I'm all on the Fulham game, trying to get a result against them. If we get anything from the weekend, it'll be amazing. I just want to see a performance.
Are you going to go down the cottage with Donna Cullen, take on Hugh Grant and Lisanne?
I'll talk to Daniel, see what he fancies doing at the weekend. He wanted to go Pizza Express, so I don't mind going for a pizza. What's that? Weatherspoons, you cheap cunt. Fucking wanker. Honestly, it's turn to pay. I paid last week. We went Hawksmoor. Honestly,
he'll never change. He'll never change, no matter how much cling film you wrap him in. I'm going for Tottenham 1, Arsenal 3. But I think it will be a more... 2,
you two. You're going 3-1 to the Arsenal. Yeah. Hang your heads in shame.
Well,
I'm going to clip this up. Apparently, AI, if I say the word clip, it can do some clips for me after the show. We're clipping it up. You 2, 3, 1. I'm going 2-2. And I think he's going to jump off. Do you want to say goodbye, Leon?
When's the original presenter coming back? Who's that?
Who's the original presenter? Who's that?
Caller.
Caller. Owen the Caller Culshaw.
Yeah, he's in his man cave.
He's in his man cave. He's on the Cheese Room audio podcast. Yeah, he does audio podcasts these days.
Yeah, no, he will be back because I got a message from him last week. He is going to come back, but they'll see it when he does the show. But he's been off for 6 months. They'll see it. Like he had a bit of. So I tell him or not?
Tell him. And this is the end of the show, by the way. This is it. Okay. So finish it on a high.
Yeah, no. He had some plastic surgery. He had some Botox because he's. I won't mention his age, but he's getting quite. He just getting frustrated of how he looked. So he had some Botox and it went wrong. So he's had to have a bit of reconstructive surgery on the right side of his face. So he was only doing the podcast on Spotify because he didn't want to show his face. But he said he'd be back in a couple of weeks. But the viewers won't recognise him.
Yeah, so just as well, when they watch it, they need to know it's not an episode of Bow Selector, is it? It's just, obviously, he's still getting over that.
Yeah, and the lighting's only going to be on one side of his face. Is that correct?
He looks different. He's wearing glasses. He's got a beard. He's wearing his headphones in his ears, and he's got he's changed the man cave because he had a bit of a crisis. He's in a room and he's got a blind, and I think he's even changing his name.
We should clip that up as well. We'll send that
to Gibbo,
and we wish him well. We wish him well, don't we?
Yeah. Right, on that note, I've got to go.
Come on, you Spurs.
Leave you out.
Come on, you Spurs.